couldn't hear.
I said maybe I never saw you in a conference, so maybe it's your first time with us
Yes.
at the international conference.
Yes.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the ESTA family, as
Thank you.
we like to call. Do you want to speak a little bit about yourself?
Yes.
To know more about you?
I don't know what you want to know. Like, you mean where I studied, or actually, Agnes is there too. Hello, Agnes. We studied with the same teacher actually, and I know her from different like garden parties from Axel Gerhardt in Berlin. I don't know if you know Professor Axel Gerhardt. So yeah, and I also know her from the German ESTA. I was there at the conference last year, I think, or 2 years ago. Yeah. And well, I studied actually in UDK with Axel Gerhardt. Then I went to Bern and studied with Barbara Doll and with Corina Belcher, violin. And then I studied viola also with Patrick Jüth. And then I went to Salzburg and studied with Veronika Hagen. And that's where actually I had this idea of making the cards, because I had students before. Actually, the idea, I don't know if you want to, like the whole story started when I was like studying in Berlin, and I had a student. She would never like to practice. She just played her piece through once, and then it was enough. That was fine. And I was, how can I make her play a little more? Because just through playing, you already get into better technique. And I mean, of course, you have to give her the good technique, but also just through playing, the body is very intelligent. It can also learn a lot by itself. And then I had I had a sheet of paper with lots of different animals. So she had to play like an elephant with lots of bow, like this, and then feel like an elephant while playing. And then she had to play like a mouse or like a giraffe or whatever, like lots of different animals. And then we cut up this, and she really got so much better just through playing her piece like 10 times with different animals that I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I cut up this piece of paper, and so that's how the cards actually started. And I was always using this method with other students also with different dynamics or different, but I never had it as a proper game. And then when I was with Veronika Hagen in Salzburg, I had the idea it was possible to make this innovatives Projekt, which is like an innovative project, which was very free. I could do what I wanted. And I proposed to her, what do you think of this idea? And she was like, oh yeah, I should have had this when I was little, this kind of card game. So so I made it as my master thesis, and yeah, that's how it came. And,
great. So you play with your master thesis.
Yes.
very nice way of doing it.
Yeah.
So I was ready to ask you because before in your discourse you said from Hagen I have this idea to make the cards, and I was thinking, wow, I didn't know that Hagen is so nice about this kind of thing.
Yes, she was very, very supportive. Yeah, she really liked it. Yeah, that was cool.
Great. Kundry, and did you already have this experimentation with your students? Do you have students actually? Are you a teacher?
Yes, I have 25 students. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you are a proper teacher.
Yeah, I enjoy teaching like the most. It's amazing. Like even more than concerts, I must say. I just love teaching. I don't know. It's like that.
And in Berlin, your students are from Berlin.
Yeah.
Great. And you teach home, or you have a school where you can teach?
At home, mostly at home. I have 3 students in music school also. Yeah.
So, and did you already gave the cards game to?
Of course, they all use the cards. Yeah. Yeah, they like them.
And now, what can you say about the results?
The results of this practicing with the cards, it's great. It's really nice. Yeah. They come to the lesson, they're like, Kundry, there was these cards you had yesterday. Can we pull a card? I'm like, okay, yeah, of course. Here, take a card. And it says like put a good bow hold, or put your little finger nicely on the bow. It says on the card, and then I say like, the card said you have to do that, so you have to do it. And otherwise they're all like, nah, don't. I'm like this. Yeah. So yeah, it works well.
Great. I don't know if I can say, but you told us something before we start the streaming about where you are.
Yes, I'm in Portugal at the moment. In
So
Torres Vedras.
it's a nice feeling to have a speaker of the conference in Portugal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's true. But I'm sorry that because I'm like in vacation, I don't have my violin and I don't have my cards. So I can't show them to you now. But if you go on violincircus.com, you can look at some pictures of what it looks like.
I needed to tell this because I was so well prepared to make you the interview, but I was prepared to use the cards. So now I don't know.
I'm very sorry, but okay, there are three categories. Like I can explain how the cards are. There are three categories. So if you go on this Violin Circus website, maybe it would be helpful if you do that now. Then you see that there are three. There are three categories.
You don't need.
Okay.
Read it because there are. Kundry did a teaser video that is in our YouTube channel, the YouTube channel of Esta Portugal. So everybody that wants to know more about this, you can go and watch the video because it's really funny, and it has one student that explain with joy everything about what is in the cards.
Yeah, so there are like three categories. There's one category is like technique and accuracy, like doing the music, what it says, like the right things that they say in the music, or also like putting good posture, like thinking of how you hold your hand and everything. That's one category. It's like a dwarf. He's taking care you're doing the right thing, technique. And then the second category is like acrobatics, creativity. And there's this thumb up. Yes, there. See, there, good. The second one, the blue guy is he's the acrobatics and creativity. So you can like add different. Everyone has the pictures. Yes. You can add difficulties, like standing on one leg or playing lying down or doing different like posture differences, or adding creative other things to your playing, or like listening to the acoustics of playing in the bathroom, for example, or things like this. That's the acrobatics and creativity cards. And then there's the third one is characters and timbre. This purple guy, it's a yellow note, like, and he takes care of the like characters, like play your piece, whatever, andante or something, or play it really presto. And you also learn the Italian ways of speaking. Yeah, here crescendo, for example. Yeah, and yeah, and the good thing about it also is that you can then combine these three categories. So you can pull different one card from acrobatics, one from character, and one from technique. So you, for example, you're standing on one leg with your acrobatic card, putting your little finger nicely on the bow or the thumb or something, and playing maestoso or something, you know? So there are lots of different combinations of how you can play your piece through the cards. And also, yeah, maybe get new ideas through having played it this way. Yeah.
And do you use this card with all your students?
Yes.
Yeah. With different ages and levels.
Yes. Yeah. Even the adults, they're like, I mean, of course, it can be like, because the pictures that like I drew, they're quite childish. Like they're not so. I mean, yeah, they're more like kids' illustrations. But yeah, you just have to be like a kid again when you're doing this. Yeah, but I think it's like even the adults or also some other people from the last conference in Germany. He was practicing, like he's like 52 or something, and he was practicing Brahms concerto with the cards, and then he was like, for the first time, he said, like, because the cards give you, of course, different ideas of how you could practice it, because even if one is already a professional musician, it's always nice also to have like new ideas of how, because of these combinations also, to practice. And I use them when I practice, for example, for a concert, especially like difficult passages. If I can play them like moving my, I don't know, eyebrows up and down on one leg and I don't know, moving something, then I can play them like on the stage just normally anyway, you know? Just add difficulty to take them away again and feel like a kid for a moment, and then you're again your like professional musician. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, how it works. Yeah.
You can we can see that you are really happy with that.
Yeah.
It's enough motivation for all of us wants to buy it. Is it possible to buy?
Yes, of course. Yes, you can
How?
go on the like on the website Violin Circus. I had it printed, and I will just send it to you. If you can like send a there's an Etsy shop. Either you can buy it on this Etsy shop or write me an email, and I'll just send you a invoice, and then you send the money, and then I send it to you. Like when I'm back in Germany, they're like stacked under my bed. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is time to say about this. We have to say that Kundry is one of our exhibitors, and she has a kind of showcase. So if you are watching us and you also have something that you want to show, you can write us, and we will have place for you, and we will find the right solution for you to share all your experience and to your products. Also, we need to say that we are supported by Tomastic and Pirastro, that are our principal sponsors. And thanks for all the sponsors, all the firms, all the exhibitors that are with us and for this international conference. Kondri, I come back to you because I have one question. I want to know if that makes sense, that maybe you could have two different level of cards.
Yes, I have thought of this, actually, really.
Because
like,
if you
for the kids,
are great, if you are great about circles number 1, maybe you can upgrade to circles number 2.
Yes, actually, I have it on my computer already. Like actually in my master thesis, there were 150 cards, and I only printed like 57, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to do the funding and stuff for the next 2 card games. But yes, there are some more.
So you are in the right place. If someone want to help Kundry, we want more cards.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, that'd be cool.
You spoke about concerts. You play also a lot with
I play
your 25 students. You manage to organize.
Of course, I play in a quartet. It's Orbis Quartet. Orbis Quartet. We are a string quartet. We actually practice every day for 4 hours. Like,
wow.
In the morning, I always practice for 4 hours with my quartet, and then in the afternoon, I do my students. And yeah, it's really cool. We sing also. We sing and we play at the same time. Like, you can check out orbisquartet.com, I think, or DE. I think it's DE. Yeah. So we're like, we do normal quartet, like Brahms, Beethoven repertoire. And
you play violin or viola?
I play viola. Yeah, in the quartet. Yeah, and
so I think you should be one of the most happy persons in the world. You play in a quartet, you teach. I don't know. For me, it was my dream.
Yeah,
it's what I do.
You do too. You're playing also in the quartet.
Yes.
So cool. So nice.
Yeah. So yeah. But you started younger than me, I think, because you come from your master thesis. Yes. When did you finish your master thesis? Yeah, like a few years before.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
And
but I would like to also thank everybody who has like done all the work for this whole conference and all the organizing. And Emilia wrote me so many emails. So thank you very much for this. Also the possibility of speaking and stuff. I'm very grateful.
okay, thank you, Kundri. We stay with you, and our participants are thinking about a lot of questions to make to you, I think. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can also write on the chat or also write on our Facebook page, because we will read the questions to our guests and we will open the discussion. But before that, we need to meet Volodya. Hi, Volodya.
Hello, do you hear me, everybody?
Yes, yes.
Nice greetings from Ljubljana to everybody, and thank you very much for this invitation and having opportunity on Wednesday for such nice presentation of our Amael piano trio. And I must say we were very excited to come in April to Portugal, playing Smetana and Beto and Arctic, and very nice piece, Slovenian piece, Maestoso Lugubre by Škerjanc. But it didn't happen. So, but very nice to be again with all of you, with this nice atmosphere, very international, but online.
Yes, and yeah, it's what we can do. But it's nice to be online together, huh?
Yes.
When we were speaking before, Volody, we said it's nice that we will end the meet of speakers with music, because you represent one of the concerts of the conference. What do you think about that? What do you think about the presence of the concerts in the conference? Because you already organized one conference, you did it so well, nobody will forget about the Ljubljana conference. What do you think about this music serious concerts on the conference?
Do you mean now online or?
No, in the presence. No, in the normal conference, of course. Online, I don't know what we can do about that.
Yes, when I speak generally, I think it's very important because we are all involved in teaching. But why we are teaching? We are preparing young students to be on the stage in the first line, or to be professional who are again teaching youngers again to be on the stage. This means that I think it's very important to have good balance between lectures and presentations and of course the concerts. This, I think it's very important. From my opinion, I greet each idea that's in conferences like it was planned for this year and for all forthcoming conferences in forthcoming years. I hope it will be possible, that situation will be again normal. I think it's very important that there are concerts, and even more important, if possible, of course, that members, ESTA members, are players. This, I think, it's very nice, and that's why I must say, in the name of my colleagues and Amael Piano Trio, thanks again to ESTA Portugal for invitation to participate. What can I say? It is nice.
Yeah, well, your words are very wise, and we should never forget that ESTA starts with the great musicians. Yes, Yudi Menuhin, Max Rostal, all this generation of great players that also start to think about teaching, because they thought it's important to be together, to share about our skills and about our knowledge, to make music more musical. I would say. I don't know. That's
Yes,
great. Thank you, Volodya.
absolutely.
And
But I think that we have so many branches, European branches, and I'm sure that we can find in so many branches really good involved concertists in the field of chamber music and solo about members of ESTA International. Um, let's say also national branches, and I think this is good idea to think about in the future to uh, getting them place.
Yeah. Volodya, do you want to tell us a little bit about your trio? How long are you playing together?
So first of all, I would like to say what does it mean for me chamber music, and from where coming this. Let's say I have in music two special loves. One is teaching, and second love is chamber music. And uh, in chamber music, again, the first place has piano trio. And my love to this came during my studies in Cologne, when I was in the class of Igor Ozi. And we all, at that time, we had all luck to work with legendary Amadeus Quartet. I took lessons with all members of Amadeus Quartet for 3 years. And I played everything there, from string quartet, violin piano duo, piano trio, and so on. And then after all these studies, I decided to come back to Ljubljana. And of course, it was not immediately idea having a piano trio. It was open, maybe string quartet, maybe piano trio. These are for me equal important. And but it took quite a long time that I was able to see my colleagues in Ljubljana with the same ideas. And it was luck, now it's already quite 20 years ago, that we met in Ljubljana Damir Hamidulin. Some of you know him very well because he had very nice recital in Kazan. And he was invited to come to Ljubljana to be solo cellist of National Opera Orchestra. And at the same time, Tatiana Ogdanovich, our founding member of piano trio, came back from Vienna, where she studied from a long time, and she's my colleague at Music Academy of Ljubljana University. She's their piano teacher and very important Slovenian soloist. And at that time, we began to play together. And we worked all this year quite very hard, and we had also luck to perform in many, many concerts. We had even played 2 times at Carnegie Hall in USA, in London, in Rome, in some other festivals, in Bergen, in Kaunas, in Sofia, Belgrade. Even we played in Tehran, in Iran. We really not only that we came together as professional musicians, it is very important for each chamber music group that playing together is not only to try to play vertical together, but with time to breathe together, to feel together, and so on. And I think this is the most excited and the most beautiful thing in the chamber music, working every day. And even sometimes rehearsals are the same important for us as concerts itself. Sometimes atmosphere on rehearsal is fantastic. Especially my motto is always to be inspired by my colleagues I am playing with them together in this moment. And this is fantastic. This means complementation of musical ideas. And so we played together with Tatiana 16 years. And unfortunately, after our tour in Benelux, this was in February 2017, she she got very big illness in the shoulder, and she was obligated to stop to play for 3 years. Fortunately, our colleague, also colleague from Tatiana, Zoltan Peter, who is also professor of piano at our music academy, he was immediately prepared to replace her in concert they were already planned. And so he was replacing her 1 year. And at this year we played in 11 different countries with him, always replacing her and replacing her. But finally, Tatiana said, now I think it's time that you continue, and I will stop with trio. But in this year, in February, it was big comeback of Tatiana as a soloist with Beethoven Fourth Concerto and Slovenian Symphony Orchestra. So Tatiana is again playing after 3 years break, what is very lucky situation, but she decided now that she will only play solo. So we continue with Zoltan, and I am very happy that our presentation on Wednesday gave us opportunity to present our live recordings from London with Tatiana, and later audio recordings from Imago Festival 2 years ago with Zoltan.
Great, thank you very much, Volodya, for your inspiring words. It's nice to listen when we speak with so much enthusiasm and love about something that we do. It touches ourselves. Thank you. Do you want to speak about the program you will play it in Portugal?
Yes, we decided to present one extraordinary Slovenian piece by Lucian Maria Škerjanc. This is one of the most important composers in the history of Slovenian composers. He was born in 19. This means at the beginning of 20th century, and he died at 75. And he was very influenced by French Impressionism also, but I think he did really many fantastic compositions, and one of them is Piano Trio, very long piano trio, and the last movement, Maestoso Lugubre, composer by himself, authorized as piece playing on concert only the last movement as complete piece. And this was played very often by our legendary trio Lawrence in the past, but our trio, we already played in many concerts in foreign countries, and everywhere this piece was very good feedback to this piece. It's not very, it's more tragical piece, already Maestoso Lugubre, the name, it is so, but it's really very deep and strong composition. We wanted also to play Smetana, and we wanted to present in the last part of the concert Arctic trio by Beethoven, especially because this year we celebrate Beethoven. And this is late Beethoven. Uh, and I think it's really one of the biggest form written for piano trio. It is written as symphony, uh, very strong composition in 4 movements, long about 45 minutes, and really one of pieces we all agree in trio maybe we like the most. And what is fantastic, we already play so often already before with Tatiana this piece, and again we started to play again this piece with Zoltan. And of course, what is incredible in chamber music, when you change only one member, completely you must adapt to new situation. It is not so that we are used to play with Damir one art of playing, then the change of pianist and we play the same. Not. It completely changed everything. And this is fantastic in chamber music. And so we started to collaborate again as new this Beethoven, and this is fantastic when by each rehearsal you discover new and new and new things. And this is what is in chamber music something really magical. So what can I say? We are lucky people that we are involved in such a nice things, what it is. And Beethoven itself is really when I think how is possible that somebody wrote such fantastic compositions, and even you make several times analyze of compositions, and you come never to the end. You discover always something new. Amazing.
It's a masterpiece.
Yes.
I think it's the signification of a
Exactly.
masterpiece.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the concert online, we still didn't give up. Maybe we can find some kind of solution, at least to be together sometime and listen some accords and some phrases. We will see. I didn't give up. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, I think you have one fantastic idea and one fantastic energy to go on. Keep
Mm.
it, keep it. You know, it's for all of us very important. And this idea for these meetings, I think it's really great. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
but thank you, Volodya. But what do you think about the masterclass online?
Uh, because of this situation, I'm already teaching now for 4 months, all my students only online.
But do you think you could make it on our conference in October to teach?
Why not? I even recorded some of my Zoom online lessons with my students. These are now, of course, only for our internal use. It's very interesting, and I am surprised. I didn't expect that this possibility gives really many opportunity to lead lesson quite very normal. It's true. Sometimes depends on how good is your line. I have some students. They have only on mobile phones. Sometimes there is a little bit more break of good connection. But if good computer and good speed, the lesson can be quite very normal. I already learned what is good sound and so on, but for many things, the precision of sound, you can control intonation, fantastic. You can control rhythms, fantastic, and many things like this. Okay, maybe with colors, I am missing the real physical lesson in one room or in one small hall or something like this. But I even can say that some of, mostly of my students, because they were not obligated to go to some lectures and so on, they even practiced more. And the result of this last 3-4 months was extraordinary, really. So I am quite very optimistic, and I, uh, I, I agree with all people that online lessons have really one good possibility, especially in the future, because the speed of online internet possibilities will be even better.
Increasing.
It will increase, and in this,
Yeah, about this, I'm dreaming in my head, and I think we have already some technology that can make the student, for example, to play in our theater in the school in Porto, and maybe we can share the sound not in the Zoom quality, but at least at YouTube quality that is already higher. And with this, maybe with the teacher, for example, if you make the master class, if you are speaking on Zoom quality, is not a problem, because it's more important that the student play in a good sound quality. And maybe we can find a way to make the master classes of our conference.
this
We
would
will
be.
see.
May I introduce that our Academy of Music, we are collaborating with Vienna Music University and Trieste Conservatorium.
Mm-hmm.
Was planned many master classes this year. Myself, I was invited to teach chamber music, one Vienna quartet. This means me in Ljubljana and they in Vienna. But then this was not possible because of break, because of coronavirus. But our music academy uses Lola system. This is one system Christian can maybe speak more about from technical. I'm not so, I don't know to speak about so much through technical possibilities. But this our music academy is connected with Arnes. This is academic internet net of Slovenia. Actually educational internet, and they give possibility much higher speed, and this we even had one concert with our student. They played in Ljubljana, and other students they played in Trieste, and this was synchronized concert, and
Wow.
it went very well. So at this moment we broke this, but I can speak with some of our members. This project, the name of this project is Swing Project, and
Okay.
one of my colleagues in Music Academy of Ljubljana is involved more than me in this. He's involved more as an organizer. I can speak about and to see what possibilities could be if this in autumn then.
Yeah. Thank you, Volodya. I go back to Kundry now. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Kundry, after all this we listened from Volodya, you as a string player, what do you think? When we change a member, it changes really a lot, the group?
Of course. Yes, of course. I think every time you play, you give so much of your personality, and of course it changed. I remember once we had a concert in Montreal, and in the university there, and our second violinist got sick, and then we played with I can't remember who it was, but it was a violin. I think it was a professor there at the academy, and it was just so different, like so different. And of course, it changes everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think?
And I also
something different between the piano trio and the string quartet.
I played piano trio a lot in Switzerland, and I think everyone knows that intonation is totally different, and also this. You have to practice with the cellist. It's like a duo, and then comes the piano, which is like a bit separated, but yeah.
But in the string quartet, what do you think? String quartet, what do you think? Do you think if a new member comes, you need more to adapt, or the others feel more the adaptation?
I think everyone adapts a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say one adapts, doesn't adapt, and the other. Then one is not a good musician if one can't adapt. I think everyone, it goes like this. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's music. It's so nice.
And I mean, we have a new cellist in the quartet, and it's also interesting how the personality of the person who comes into the group is also so important for how one does the rehearsals. Like also for the communication of the other group members, it's so important. Like also the role of each person in the group. It's like
Do you think you could make a cards game for string quartet?
I had this idea. Yes, I think like everyone turn the back to each other, for example. That would be a good practice idea. Or I also taught a string quartet. Like they're really good players, but they're all like doctors and stuff. And for them, for example, it would be so cool, like to use something like this.
Yeah,
because I had so many lessons with all with Artemis Quartet and with Hagen Quartet, and they spoke so many ideas. Like actually, one should write everything down, or like it would be cool.
Great. I have, this year we had a project with quartets in our conference, made by the ESTA Foundation. It was a competition, and the two string quartets that won the competition, they were invited to come to Porto to play a concert, several concerts actually. And I have this kind of dream to make more usual a sharing of chamber music, at least, because orchestra is more difficult, more people, more difficult. But chamber music we can make within this ESTA atmosphere. I think maybe we will stay in contact. We'll be together more times, I hope.
Yeah.
I want now to try some new thing. Volodya is also a presenter for a lecture about vibrato. Kundry don't know, maybe she did know, she could not know because the abstract book is not ready. So you don't know nothing about what Volodya will speak about vibrato. But maybe you can start with a blind question to Volodya.
A blind question?
About
vibrato?
A blind question because you don't know about this lecture, but you can imagine. And you can make a question to Volodya, and we will see what happened.
A question about vibrato. What about somebody who knows how to do vibrato, but just cannot do the vibrato in the moment where he needs it? I know somebody who has this problem.
Volodya, can you answer?
We can't hear him. He's out. Stop.
Volodya.
Yeah.
So first of all, two important things by vibrato. First, it's a technical moment. what should be the same as all other technical things practiced every day. This means if the vibrato is practiced on the right way every day, you have technical opportunity that you use it. This is one aspect of vibrato. Another aspect of vibrato is coming from the music. And this is what is the most important actually, because vibrato by itself is nothing than only moving of left hand. But in music goes always together with bow. This is the most important. Now what happened? Sometimes our emotional feelings are so strong that we want to make vibrato on one place very important and very intensive and so on. But it happened that we are blocked because of technical moment. And that's why I wanted to present the lecture at ESTA to speak about both both aspects, having one, how to say, at the end, we need to find the final solution between technical possibilities and musically idea. With other words, there are many musicians, they don't need to learn vibrato, they are musically, and I saw, and I had already some students, they never need to practice vibrato. They are feeling good and they began to make vibrato, and they even played vibrato very nice and very well. In this case, I say, don't disturb. Let people play this way. Okay, this is one good solution and good happiness. But on mostly cases, that it's not like this. It's the same. Vibrato we need to learn. And I had, unfortunately, much more students. They were very musical, but when they come to me to conservatorium after 6-7 years playing already, vibrato was too tensed, not enough relaxed. So that's why if you are interested and if we have time, I can show you some short exercises I am using each day with my students, and it helps a lot.
Yes, that would be
Volodya,
great.
Volodya, please, you cannot show too much because we need to take the great knowledge to the conference. We want people to go to the conference. So please show a little bit that people want to learn more.
A little moment. So after
only one exercise, okay?
one,
The others people need to come to your lecture.
So the most important by vibrato is that these phalanx are all the time relaxed. If the hand is here relaxed, then it works everything. And we have now 3 kinds of vibrato. But at the end, all the time, if you play, for example, this is from the hand, it should be here relaxed. The same if it is from the, it should be the same, or finger vibrato. This means always here very relaxed. And we can do this with students even from the first year, with children, to work like this, only like this, for example. And then next finger. This is now one kind of vibrato. We can do second kind vibrato, hand vibrato, the same. But if you see the finger itself, it works absolutely the same way. This means if here it's working, vibrato works always. But we need to practice this each day. for example, by myself, if I am stopping 1 week or 10 days not playing violin, I can play immediately one scale very good, but I feel myself by sound immediately. The After 10 days, vibrato is not the same. I need to make these slow uh, exercises, and after 5 minutes, I am again at home. So important it is. So this was the shortest way to show you this. Maybe you understand what I wanted to say. But the rest.
Thank you, Volodya. Thank you. So if you want to learn everything about vibrato, don't lose the conference. Volodya will be there to explain every detail, and we are anxious to arrive there. Do you know, I say it again, our conference will be in autumn, starts on 30 October until 8 November. 2 fantastic weekends with a lot of surprises that we are organizing for you. If you are already registered, you will have at your email box all the details. And if you are not registered in the conference, do it now, because we want you there. Well, I think it's time. Time is flying. Like always, it's so nice to be with you. I think we need to open the discussion, and we give opportunity to everybody to make questions to Volodya or to Kundry. Any question? Christian?
I just wondered. That's a great idea with a playing with a show or play card about Kundry, and I saw several, let's say, games. Are you thinking in advance about a gamification or putting this card in a digital form?
In a digital form?
Yes.
Like an app or something?
Yes, exactly.
I was thinking of, yes, maybe doing this. Yeah. But I think also that this the game as a card game is I mean, the kids are going to their computer so much nowadays. It's also a way of like making gamification, and also this, especially for little kids, this pulling a card and throwing the dice and all this is so also good for them. They play a little phrase, then they try to memorize it, then they throw the dice, they pull the card, read what it says on this card, and then they have to remember again, how does it go, my piece? And then they play again. And I think it's because it's like a board game, or I don't know. It has its Vor- und Nachteile. How do you say the yeah.
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 After that, I think it has a potential if it would be developed on this way, like a matching or some of these rules, because there are several apps already for for cellular phones or smartphones or whatsoever, and you can put on some educational platforms integrated. And I think it would be fine, really, because children are jumping from one device to the instrument back to and so and you can really focus them on proper things.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a
Fine.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are in a point that we have 2 positions. One to go out of devices, another one to go in the devices. You know, I was in my mind thinking what it means storage, because we had an iPhone with 1 megabyte. Now we have one iPhone with 64 gigabytes. And maybe if we can transform everything in the world in digital, we don't need a big house. Just a bed and everything is in the phone. It's a kind of a story that we can make a movie, maybe. What about everything?
Violin, the violins on the
Yeah.
web. Don't need a violin anymore.
No, it's a nice story. But I was when I saw Kristen, I said, "Oh, of course, we have 2 players here, Kundry and Christian. I'm sure Christian will make it digital. Thank you, Christian, for that.
No. Now I'm so deeply involved in you know, with the seminars for web courses. So I have no time really to.
But you know, it's true. Like we have an iPad, we don't need to take a big bag with all the paper music, all the sheet music. We have it in the iPad.
Sure.
So, you know, a card game, it's heavy, you know, it's like 200 grams already. It's a problem in our days. You see.
Yes. That's true.
Right.
Crazy life. I'm sorry, it was not me to speak, it's you to make questions. Go on.
I have one question to Christian. What are you doing with like web stuff?
No, I just mentioned that I'm for a long time working with virtual classrooms like Moodle and several platforms, and I'm using this for 15 years in my while in teaching. I'm combining like a blended learning, teaching while in live and let's say controlling and home practicing. My students, they're on a great pressure because we collaborated already before this crisis, and I just want to say that there are several levels. Now we are speaking just about the substitution. Let's say, like Volodya said, he's teaching in video, and actually nothing has changed. While when we are going deeply and deeply in this multimedia, we can really reach some very high potential of multimedia. So I think this crisis shall a little bit change of our vision about how to do technology, not just to make a substitute for classes, but something else. We'll see.
Yeah, thank you, Christian.
Bam, bim, bam.
It's the bells of the church near my house. I can show you because it's very sunny.
Oh, so nice.
Wow.
It's Praga.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and you know, we all know Christian because he did already. He was in many conferences and he did already his presentations in the Meet the Speakers. And we know that Christian is making his PhD. He will be a doctor. And this conference theme, we should always remember, is bridges between research and practice. And what more than that, like what Christian do and what Kundry did. And about this theme, I have one fast question to Kundry. Is your master thesis was about to build the game, or did you measure the results somehow in the students?
No, the game, it was the game. And like I had to make the game. It was a media project, which was the cards, and then I had to like do 15 minutes talking about it. So it wasn't measuring the results, no.
But what do you think about that? Do you think it could be? Because, you know, sometimes science is a little crazy. Sometimes the practitioners don't understand well the things that researchers do, and opposite way. But because you are a researcher, because you did something, and because you are a player and a teacher, what do you think? Do you think it would make some sense to draw a research, like an experience, and see what that makes good or bad about your game?
That would be a great idea. I've never had this idea, but of course it would be really good. Also to do it like with not only my students, because they know my method, like that other people like try it, and then I don't know, yeah, would be very interesting, of course.
Yeah. What do you? Let's make a research question or a hypothesis. What is your idea of the results in the end of using 1 year the cards? What do you think they will be better?
I think that the cards make this intuitive way of practicing, or how do you say it? Often when it's very deliberate, like when practice is, I'm practicing now this technique, and I'm focusing on this. And I think the cards are more just taking this focus away and letting the focus free to grow itself, you know? I think that's a bit, it's both. It's focusing, but at the same time taking the focus away. So I think it's, I mean, I just can say for myself how I feel after practicing with this method. I feel that also just changing the music and not only playing the way it says in the music, but maybe playing it a half tone higher, or playing it in minor or in major, or changing, I don't know, the chords totally different, or improvising a different ending to the phrase that Mozart played. There are lots of different possibilities of how you can interpret what it says, of course, on the cards. And I think that would be more this violin circus number 2, or for like, I mean, a kid can't play in minor and then change to major if he doesn't really know what the concept is. If you're like 5, you wouldn't be able to do that. But I think there's yeah, I don't know. I feel a lot more free with my instrument, and also with my body, because if I'm like playing lying down and then I'm like doing different things, I know that there are lots of musicians who have like back problems, and I don't know, in the orchestras, lots of people have, I think, what is 60% or something of violin players have back problems when they're older, I think. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if the statistics is correct, but and
But
I,
only
yeah,
violin, not viola players.
yeah, viola players have no problem. No,
Yeah,
no,
thank you.
especially viola players. But I think, yeah, just this like freedom can be unterstützt. Like,
And your
yeah,
cards are in German or in English?
they're in German and English. They're
Okay.
both language.
Together in the same card.
Yeah.
Okay. And your master thesis is in German, I think, no?
Yes, that was in German. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you. Well, time for one more question.
Hi, I have one question. I've read the curriculum of Kundry in the webpage, and I am amazed by a phrase that it's self-taught from 11 to 18 years old.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, that's true. I started playing violin like when I was 4 in a music school, like normal music school, and then when I was, I think it was 11. Yes, when I moved to Ireland, I moved around a lot when I was young. Like I lived in the USA, in Ireland, Spain, and in France, and we just lived so far away from the like music. All the little towns we lived in where there was no music classes. There were no teachers. So my dad went to the like library in Hanover and copied Doflein method and Brahms Violinkonzert or Beethoven. And I wasn't really very good at that time. But he was like, look, you can play this. Why don't we play this? And then like Doflein, he played the flute. He played a traverse flute, yes. So we were just playing duos together the whole time. And I had no idea of all the technique, actually. And I remember, actually, I learned vibrato with to Volodya, actually, also. He was like, oh yeah, vibrato goes like this, and that's the cello vibrato. And I was like, no, that can't be. Like, and then he went to, he was on the plane one day with some, it was I think the concertmaster of the opera, who was the father of a friend of mine from my school. He by chance met him in the plane. And then he asked him, like, how does violin vibrato work? And he was like, he came back home like, vibrato works like this. So that's, and then we were like, I practiced a little bit of vibrato. I had 3 or 4 violin lessons in Spain from one lady who taught me vibrato then. I was 13, I think, yeah. But all the time, the rest time, I was like just practicing Doflein and some. He gave me just Beethoven violin concertos, just like thirds and octaves, no problem. And then I was just playing it how I thought it would be. And yeah, that's how it worked. And then actually Axel Gerhard was the first to teach me how to read music and all this stuff. I could play a Mozart violin concerto, but I couldn't really read music very well, especially rhythm was very difficult at the beginning. Yeah. Yes, actually, my dad also, he had an electric piano, and then he put the music, he could read music, so he put the music into this electric piano, and I listened to it by ear and played along, and he put it very slowly and then faster, and that's how I actually learned playing violin, yeah, just by hearing, and yeah.
I don't know if I like so much what I'm listening, because if we don't need teachers, maybe we don't have time. Be careful.
I mean, my dad was a flutist, so he knew how music goes. He didn't know how violin teaching goes or
That's flute
technique.
on Esta.
But yeah,
So nice, Kundry. Oh, it's really nice to meet you.
so nice to meet you all.
Great. I think Hazel had one more question, because she is very special, because she is from our Portuguese team. That because today is last Meet the Speakers, I have to introduce the team again. And many, many, many thanks to Mariana Moraes. We should clap it. To Emilia Alves. Also great to Clarissa Poleto. Also, and Hazel. Hazel, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, with a signal today. I have a very, very quick question for Kundry. Your game is called Violin Circus Game. Do you think maybe it would be good to change it to maybe String Circus Game? So cellists and viola players and even bass players don't feel left out?
Yes.
We have a viola eagle here.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. It would be a good idea to, or do a special cello circus, which is especially for cellists.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does work for cellists. My friend, a cellist, he said it works just as well. Just like there are some cards where you have to stand on one leg, which is not so easy on a cello.
No, maybe not.
But yes, it's true. Yeah.
Little viola pupils don't want to play a violin game. They want to play a viola game.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you all. Thank you that are watching us on YouTube. We need to finish our meeting. We can continue online with the participants of the conference for a little coffee break here in Zoom, with the coffee from your kitchen that we offer, or a beer, maybe more interesting. But now we need to finish our meeting, and I have to thank everybody for being with us a lot of weeks during this quarantine period. It was a way to keep us together and to don't give up about the conference. And now we have clear idea that we will do it in autumn, so we will meet again. And we know that ESTA continues with the international conference, and next year I hope lively we all will be together in Finland for the 49th ESTA International Conference. And thanks very much to all the speakers, and we let a legacy of videos in our YouTube channel that you can always watch during the summertime. We will come back after summer with the details for the conference. We will, I don't know if we'll again make the meetings. We need to find the right idea. But for sure, we will send information for everybody. Everybody will know everything about the conference, and what we want is that everybody feels comfortable, and everybody send us the suggestions and comments for us to make it better and better. It's the first time we do this It's first time our team do this. It's first time ESTA International do this. So we need to, all help is necessary and all the ideas are necessary, and we need to build a big group, big team group to make something interesting that we will be proud of it in the end. I hope. So bye. See you after summer. Thanks very much to Mastic, our principal sponsor, and Pirastro, our gold sponsor. And if you want to sponsor the conference, you still have time, write to us if you want to show your products also. And if you want to come to the coffee break with us, you need to register to the conference and you will be one of us. Bye bye YouTube channel.